It's 07. We can start.
7. Let's start it. Okay, so welcome everyone. First community call. Now we are going to do this every 2 weeks, so feel free to join us. The purpose of these calls is to give you some updates on what we've been doing for the past 2 weeks. Since this is the first, we are going to give you a broader update on past few months. And if you want to speak on our community calls, you are more than welcome to join us on stage. If you want to present something that is somewhat related with topology, you can also give us an heads up beforehand, and we can put you on the schedule for these community calls, and it maybe starts sharing a schedule beforehand with everyone. And mainly that's it, I think. Anything to add, Gigi?
I think that's good. Definitely don't be shy. Anything you want to talk about or discuss, hop on stage. We'll let you on stage.
Yeah, so now we are going to start with the updates. And yeah, we are going to start with the updates on Brussels, on ACC. We did some presentations there. We did like 4 presentations on Comrevi's Hacker House, on Trust Infrastructure, on the AW meetup, which we organized, and also on IPFS Camp. The presentations were pretty similar within every conference. Some were more focused on gaming, and other were more focusing on applications. The IPFS Camp was more focused on our integrations with P2P that we are using for doing most of the stuff in our protocol. And we presented the CROs to everyone. So for people that are not aware what CROs are, I'm trying to check here more or less our audience, and most of the people already know what CROs are actually. But CROs are a new construct that we are creating at Topology. We are creating Topology Protocol. We are going to release our paper super soon. And we created a new construct which is conflict-free replicated objects that mainly enables you to interact with objects that can be synchronized across the networks, and we don't need consensus for them to synchronize. And that's possible using another technology that exists in the world for a long time, which is CRDTs, which is conflict-free replicated data types. And basically they have a predetermined way of solving conflicts when they arise. And the feedback was super nice. Lots of people fell in love with what we were building and reached out for getting more details. And even after we came back from ETC, I still received lots of messages asking for the videos for the presentations, for them to rewatch and try to understand more, and some references for papers for them to research more. So I think the feedback was quite nice for ETC. Both in person, both after ETC, so pretty good. There are lots of people here that watched the presentations in real life. If you want to talk a bit about those, you can just jump on stage and give us your feedback. A part of that, we also did a live demo. Gigi just shared there. Within the 4 talks, we did 3 live demos, and all of them worked. So we were super surprised on one of them that we had one of our members that was actually joining us from the United States. So he just talked on the application while we were demoing, and he joined from the United States, and he was acting with us and hopping around with us and painting on the canvas. Our live demo consisted on a big canvas where we had players jumping around to go to the front to the canvas and paint it. that demo was developed by two people that are currently in the call. One of them was Non. On the chat, you can check the name. Was Non, and the other one was Mujan. They did most of the stuff that we did for the demo. So thank you very much, guys. Without you, we couldn't have made the demo possible at all. And yeah, we are super glad that everything worked flawlessly. Gigi, what to add there?
What was IPFS like? No one was asking.
What was IPFS like? IPFS camp
IPFS
was
camp.
the trickiest presentation that we did, because initially we had a slot of 10 minutes, and so I start cutting everything on the presentation, because our presentations usually were 30 minutes. It was 20 plus some questions. And I started cutting everything, and when I arrived, it was like, oh, no, you have 20 minutes. And I was like, ah, okay. Now the presentation is ready for 10, let's see how it goes. But I think it went quite nice. We actually didn't receive much feedback from the people that were at IPFS camp, except one person from Protocol Labs. Two people from the Protocol Labs team. We received some feedback from them. Part of that, we didn't receive much feedback from anyone else that went to that venue. But I think IPFS camp was a nice venue. It was not super full, but the crowd that was there was pretty knowledgeable on everything that we were building on top of. So it was actually a pretty nice venue for us to present on. And not having even if we didn't have lots of feedback on what we were building, at least we also didn't get lots of people saying, "Oh, what you are doing is everything wrong. Everything that you are doing is wrong." So actually, it was super good that that we presented that in that venue to gain some exposure.
Yeah, it was an interesting venue. I remember you were asking, who knows, who has heard about YJS, a common CRDT library, and who here has heard about Smalltalk? And the number of hands that were raised was record high.
Yeah. The groups that are relevant to present in our case, since we are using CRDTs are heavily used within one specific ecosystem, which is the local first community. And every opportunity that we have to interact with them, it's a good approach. And the thing is, Protocol Labs is one team that is known for being on chain because of Falcon and all that. But they also are super well known within distributed systems because of IPFS and WP2P, and a part of that, they are openly supportive of local first community. So that for sure is a good venue for us to present, because most of the stuff that we are currently building doesn't have the on-chain component, and but it's a distributed system, and it interacts in a peer-to-peer fashion and all of that, and uses CRDTs, which is also a type of distributed system. And because of that, every team that might understand that distributed systems are not just only blockchains are nice people to hang out with and to present to. There was a track for gaming, actually. We didn't present on that track, but there was a track for gaming within IPFS camp. But I think the main focus of that tracking was not for applications that were using WP2P, but for applications that were using IPFS to build games on. But not sure. For that one, so IPFS camp probably is going to release all the videos for the talks really soon, and when they release, you can check the gaming track there and what were the type of talks that were given there. Yeah, but they've IPFS camp had a gaming track. Yeah. We presented on the generic applications track. Yeah. So that were the updates for Brussels. Did I forget to cover anything, Gigi?
I think it may be interesting to talk about what we learned during the Brussels trip, which may help us bridge to the next topic, which is what we're currently working on.
Okay, go ahead. What did you learn there?
Well, I think, yeah, and also just checking Keno's question first. Keno's writing in the chat, can you help explain what CROs are, how they work, and why we are making this? Because a lot of watch YouTube for the first time. Yeah.
That one is a good question for us to answer after making the bridge, I think.
Right. Sure. So we can talk about yeah, we can summarize Brussels and talk about what we work on, and then do the CRO ELI 5 walkthrough. Yeah. ELI 5 never ends up being ELI 5. We'll see. Yeah. So I think Brussels for me. I'll go first. I think the P2P angle is really exciting. Every time we showed the counter splash and explained how it worked by connecting user devices directly peer-to-peer, we always got very good impressions. There were feedback about demonstrating more difficult stuff on the CRDT side for like the protocol labs people at IPFS camp that we engage with. He was asking, can we do? I'm interested in seeing more complex CRDTs. So that's something that we can work towards. Our counter splash uses the basic types of CRDTs, which already allows us to do collaborative painting. So yeah, look forward to having more complex CRDTs and how they can unlock different kinds of applications.
Mm-hmm. That's totally feedback that we got from people that are experienced with CRDTs, but that was not something that was just specific from Brussels, but also from when we went Berlin. We also got that feedback before. Another thing that David is mentioning here on chat is that at Payment they got some pushback when talking about peer-to-peer systems because there was a confusion about writing back to blockchains. That's actually something that at Topology we are checking that issue in a different way, I guess, which is the Topology protocol itself. It's ephemeral. So the thing is, if nodes die, if everyone disconnects, the object is lost. It's lost in the sense that it ceases to exist in the network. I can still have it on my local storage, and if I go back online, it's going to appear again on the network. Thing is, of course, we want to support some kind of mechanisms to make it persistent. But the thing is that we are just creating some integrations that facilitate that, but it's out of scope of the main protocol that we are developing. And you can check totally that and some more details when the paper is up. But yeah, I think so. We are going to get someone on stage to explain a bit more on that. How do we put it also? Yeah. Hello.
Hello. I was going to see if I could turn my camera on as well, but
not working.
It's not working. Yeah, it's okay. It's pretty. Yeah, similar for us as well. We're exploring a similar but different peer-to-peer tech. It's just a lot of feedback at ECC because of the nature of the conference we're at was people want to know, so where is the connection to the blockchain? And we just found that answers similar to yourselves, where it's like it's something that we're going to look at, but it's not the priority at the moment. It's an ephemeral thing. That's the exciting bit. Yeah, we can make these connections in future. Kind of was a blocker for continuing a conversation with some people. because they're in the mindset at that conference and the stuff that they're working on is related to things with permanence on a blockchain. So they're most interested in how to make that connection.
Yeah, most of the times that we talk with our blockchain friends for the first time about what we are building, it's exactly the same question. Is and where is the blockchain here? What are you doing on chain? So are you storing all the states of that CRDT on chain? What are you doing? That is related with some kind of chain. So that's a feedback that we constantly have from everyone that is used to work within that community.
It sounds like maybe you got a different kind of conversation at the IPFS camp.
The IPFS camp is the people that are there. They are mostly distributed systems people, not blockchain people. So yeah. Their focus is totally different. Yeah, I think IPFS camp it's a really good venue for hanging out with distributed systems people. Even we have someone here from the audience, which is Eddie. He was part of the IPFS community. He built Bertie. I don't know if anyone knows about it, which is a decentralized chat application. They even did the integrations for WebP2B to work with Bluetooth. And it was super awesome work. They did super great. And the thing is, even Bertie is not blockchain related. As far as I know, they don't have anything on-chain related stuff. And they are building distributed systems. And that's mainly the focus of that community, is not on-chain stuff. So there's one question here, which is what is our answer to that? And I assume it's for the blockchain people when they ask how does it connect? And our answer is, oh no, we don't connect. We don't connect with on-chain stuff. That's the magic of our protocol. We don't need to have on-chain stuff for it to work. And most of the times, the comparison that we do is with the IPFS, in the sense that it's also a distributed protocol that an IPFS doesn't use a blockchain. It also has Filecoin they created after for incentivizing IPFS network, but that's a separate product. The main product of IPFS is not on-chain related at all.
And does that satisfy some people? I meant that satisfies the criteria that you can have some kind of permanence and permanent records of those CRDT objects and games that can live on, but it doesn't necessarily satisfy like the trustless.
It depends on the people. It mostly. So my impression after talking with quite some people is that it depends a lot on the people. If people are super maxis on everything on chain, they are not going to be satisfied never with that answer. Never. It's impossible. The thing is, you can just say, yeah, but this system can have some kind of integration with on-chain stuff. It's out of scope of what we are building now, but it's possible to have. And some people might get satisfied with that. So if it's super maxi, they don't, because they just want to build things built on chain within their own chain. If it's an Ethereum maxi, it's on Ethereum. If it's Solana maxi, it's on Solana. You name it. The thing is, if people understand that the integrations are usually something good, they usually are satisfied with the answer, and they don't pursue that much more. And they actually, the feedback, also after that, they give the feedback on the protocol, and the feedback is quite good and reasonable. It depends also a lot on the people, because there are people that understand way more the tech, and people that understand way less the tech. With that,
I was going to say,
go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say another interesting comparison is with those that are looking at provable off-chain computation, like at Your Day cartridge we're presenting, and they're doing a lot of work enabling more and more complex programs to be run off-chain, but then the focus is always on the ability to then prove it back on chain. So they're solving similar problems, but they're from a it all ends up back on a public blockchain as the first principle.
The work that people from cartridge are doing is super nice, to be honest, and having everything with their Cairo integrations and the approval narrative is super nice. I really like what they are building, and their products are quite nice if you ever interacted with them. But yeah, that's all. Lots of narratives that are coming up and that are appearing, and ways of interacting with stuff. But yeah, that totally falls out of scope of what we are currently building at Topology. So, because the thing is, gaming is totally one thing that one of the use cases that we are aiming at Topology.
We are even aiming for building other applications with Topology Protocol, and that's the thing about the power of the CROs, is that they are not just focused on games, but they can be used on games, but they can be used on other applications. And I think this is the perfect moment for us to explain what are CROs and how they work.
I agree.
I think you are the best person to explain everything, because you have everything structured on your mind because of the paper right now.
I agree. Yeah, I just want to K-pop GIF for the occasion. Yeah. So okay, I think we can edify how CRO works, what they are, and then we can then talk about what we're currently working on and so on. So, okay, so let's try to edify CRO. What is a CRO? I think every one of us in the audience is using the web on a daily basis. The web, the World Wide Web. And if you look at the web from a 20,000 feet perspective, the web is a place where a lot of websites exist. And their websites are these little objects, and you can interact with these websites by sending requests in different formats. You can send GET requests, you can send PUT requests and POST requests, and these websites will respond to you with corresponding responses. So that's roughly what the web is made up of. Coming to Topology Protocol, it is basically imagining a space where a lot of objects called CROs exist. And CRO stands for conflict-free replicated object. The CR is identical to the CR in CRDT. So you take CRDT and you drop the DT or data type and you put object there. That's CRO. So imagine a space where a lot of these objects called CRO exist. And the way you interact with them is not by sending requests to them, as in I want to get request or put request. But you interact with them by subscribing to them, meaning that you're interested in whatever happened to them. That's subscribing to them. You can also synchronize on them, so you want to learn about their past. So then you have a local copy of the object that you're interested in, and so on. So CROs are objects that you can coexist and interact and subscribe to and listen to. These are the objects that Topology Protocol is essentially creating. And I think the secret sauce is that with websites, if you request and it gives you a response, that's done. It's a two-way interaction, but it's done. But then with CRO, once you subscribe to it, you are going to receive updates about it as soon as the network permits. So the goal for the protocol is for people to interact in real time through these objects as fast as they can. And in the gaming use case, we will want people to be able to
interact through these CRO objects at regular standard gaming frame rates, 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second. It is an ambitious goal, but saying this out loud because we're going to go after it.
Exactly what GG said. It seems super trivial and something that is super achievable because every game that you are playing right now interacts in that scope. But the thing is, when you are trying to do this in distributed systems, it's not as easy as it might seem. So the thing is, there are lots of open challenges that we are addressing. During our ECC presentations, we presented lots of the issues that we are trying to fix. Most of them are open research in the sense that even the scientific community didn't found the perfect answer that it works flawless for those topics. So yeah, we actually are researching lots of stuff on how to do and how to improve and do better stuff at higher speeds. Thing is, currently we already got some quite good results with the initial demos that we've been making, and so the demo process for us is the demos serve to dog feed us for us to build the protocol better. That is how it works, our demos. And the thing is, the results that we got until now were pretty good. We already found some bottlenecks also, so there are spaces where we know what to improve and where can we improve. And we actually already have, on the research side, we already have an answer for those. We just need to do them also on the implementation side. So implementation, if you are interested in helping us, just reach out to us also. We are actively looking for people to help us out doing stuff. But a part of that, there are lots of stuff that we need to improve on. For example, even the sync mechanism that Gigi was talking about, it's something that we already have an answer on how to do a pretty good sync mechanism, but we didn't implement it yet. A part of that, even the history that Gigi was talking about, we also have everything defined on the paper on how we intend to do that history for the objects. We don't have anything like that implemented yet. Most of the stuff that we have are we have a state, we do the state updates, and then we just listen to the updates and change our local version, and we merge that state, but we don't synchronize previous history. That's something that we want to add in the super near future. But yeah, I think the Guilty Gear gave us a really good LA5 on CROs for non-technical people. One thing about these community calls is that these community calls sometime might get a bit technical. So in the future, when we are giving updates, most of the updates are going to be based either on the research that we've been doing or on the developments that we've been doing on the engineering efforts. And the thing is, those updates probably are going to be technical. So bear with us. If you don't know something or we are not clear on something, just ping us on the chat, and we are totally open to try to explain it in a easier form, I guess, for people that don't have previous knowledge on some topics. So the main goal here for the community calls is for people to understand what we are talking about, what we are trying to build, and what we are trying to achieve. So if people are just listening and they don't understand anything, it's not good for us. That's why we don't mind at all going some steps back and try to explain stuff in different ways, even if it takes more time and more effort. It's totally fine. We are not worried about it at all. Yeah, the CROs. So the CROs, there are some nice properties that we also want to ensure. So for the people that watch all the demos that we've been doing, so before the one on NCC, we had another demo which was Penguin World, where we had penguins jumping around, throwing snowballs, and we also had collision. Those were also built with CRDTs, not with CROs we didn't have Topology Protocol back then. And the thing is, lots of people that interacted with that found it lovely, but the thing is, we don't have that demo was not BFT at all. So there are lots of hacking techniques that everyone could use. And the thing is, one of the main goals for Topology Protocol is also to be BFT. So there are lots of constraints that that we are aiming on building into the objects themselves, and for people not for people to not bypass certain constraints within those CRDTs. That might take some effort. It might take some research. We nonsense is involved with Penguin World. So it was nonsense that also built Penguin World, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's why he loves it.
Yeah. I think he bootstrapped
the project from the ground up.
Yeah, we're nice.
It's really nice.
No nonsense is our master demo. Although most of the efforts for the counter splash was this time was not nonsense, it was Mujang. But still nonsense gave us a big helping hand there. But yeah, we want to have some constraints within CROs to enable it to be BFT. If you want to learn how to do that, you need to join our community calls, and we'll tell you what is our progress. And so probably we are going to fail lots of times and try some stuff. One of the main things that we do, and we are keep doing it, is failing super often, in the sense that we test around, we check what works, what doesn't work, and yeah, if people can also learn from our mistakes, it's good. It doesn't require lots of people to do the same mistake. And everything that we are doing is public. So GitHub is public. Our discussions, most of them are public in the sense that we are totally open to discuss with everyone. We have all our channels open for discussion. The thing is, most of the times, since we work as a team, most of the times we have lots of these discussions within the team, and those are not super public. But we still have all the code open for everyone. All the artifacts that we build, for example, specs, the research paper, and all that, all of those are public. All of those are on our GitHub, so you can feel free to check them. And anyway, that's it.
Han is asking in the chat, can you tell us what core use cases of CROs are? Yeah, so one of the use cases that we've been talking about a lot, and we even had someone on stage with us to talk about it, is gaming. And gaming is a super big. So Topology historically has been part of the autonomous worlds community, and we are quite active there, and gaming is one of our dog feeding favorite projects to have. So gaming is one of the big stuff that we have for as use case. A part of that, we also have social graph applications. So for example, everything that you think about social networks, it can be implemented within CROs. So we have the typical example of Farcaster, because Farcaster is using a CRDT for handling everything within their systems. So social networks, also collaborative software, that's something that is used a lot in the local first community. You can think about share Google Docs, where you have a shared doc. You can think about Figma, where you have elements, graphic elements, and you want to merge all of them. And what else for use cases, GG? Yeah, Han was just asking the older version. What would be the one word that can be enabled from the invention of CRO? I think just like these are tools, and tools can be used to make different things. My perspective is metaverse is the word I would pick. It's a murky word, right? We all recognize that it's really murky. It means very different things to different people. To me, what the metaverse means is it's a singular thing. It's like the internet or like the web. We don't talk about, oh, you go to Microsoft Network, the MSN, or you go to the AOL web, where all websites are reachable by default. And I think ultimately, at least my vision for the metaverse is exactly that. It's a singular word, but it's the connection of all the possible worlds. And these worlds do not have to be 3D immersive game worlds. They do not have to be like that. But they should embody something that's next generation, something that's interactive, people can coexist, and it can boost the productivity of people and so on and so forth. Yeah, that would be my answer for that. And I think one motivation for that actually was an original motivation for CRO, in the sense that if you think about the internet or think about the web, it is a place where people can permissionlessly put up websites and share around, and for people to permissionlessly access those websites. Websites can link to other websites without permission, and so on and so forth. We also construct CRO in a similar way, in the sense that anyone should be able to create any CRO that they want. They can deploy it and make it discoverable by any people. CROs can interact by communicating with other CROs, also without permission, if they want. And CROs are by default joinable by people directly from their end devices, also without permission. So there's a lot of similarity in terms of the agency and the permissionlessness that the design is encouraging or championing.
There is one more question for you from Kono. How and why can CROs enable metaverse? What are the connections?
Yeah, I think, okay, I'll give the I'll go at it again. So I think my favorite definition from the open metaverse is doesn't come from me alone.
I think my definition came from Tim Sweeney's definition, which he gave a talk 4 or 5 years ago on the subject. The idea is that it is a place where people can interact in real time, where where people can coexist in 3D worlds, and where people can deploy content and software without permissions and interact with access other people's content and software also without permission. These software can interact and interoperate by default, and no single entity owns this thing, and some kind of economy should be enabled in this space so that people can trade and conduct economic activities and so on. So I think CROs, in a sense, is the material, we think, to make such software that exists in that realm, where people can coexist and interact in real time, where these software can be deployed without permission and interact with other software and so on and so forth. And economy is possible. I think the economy is a tricky topic. It deserves an entirely different conversation.
Yeah. So that's also one of the biggest questions that we got at ECC is,
yes,
can I launch my token in Topology with Topology Protocol? And the answer is, we need to do lots of more research to enable DeFi on Topology Protocol. It's not so since the insurances are not the same as blockchains, it's super tricky for us to give an answer on that. Yeah. So these calls, I think they are aiming to last between 45 to 1 hour, 45 minutes to 1 hour. We already passed the 45 minutes mark. So now I think it's a perfect time for us to check if everyone is content, if anyone has any questions, what do you want to listen more about us? If you want to see Utah, I can show you Utah. Is kind of sweepy here, but I can show you Utah. Utah is our mascot. Is that dog that Kono and GD are popping up? 1 second. I'll show you Utah. Here. Look at him. Isn't he cute?
How old is he?
Is 3 months and a few days. And like 6 days. He's real. Yeah. Look.
As young as our protocol.
As young as our protocol. So Utah's age is the age of the protocol. Nah, I actually don't agree with that because we've been discussing the protocol for more than 3 months. So actually that's not entirely true. But yeah, so it doesn't seem that like anyone has any questions on anything. I think we can wrap up this week. So this week was mainly for us to give a brief introduction on CROs and doing a recap on ECC. We are going to have another one in 2 weeks. That one we are going to share the agenda probably one day before. And if you want to have a slot within that talk to talk something specific that is somewhat related with topology, you are free to just ping us, any one of us, somewhere, and we are more than happy to give you a slot to speak a bit. The slots are like 5 minutes. 5 minutes you talking about something and plus 5 minutes of discussion. We have one question before. What is your travel diary for the rest of the year? Let's do a P2P push at DevCon. So yeah, we are aiming to go to DevCon. That's for sure. A part of that, we are not planning on going to too many more conferences. But yeah, we are actually going to share also here on Discord what conferences we are planning on attending on or doing events or speaking. So yeah, we can just we should start using the announcements channel a bit more. So, but yeah, we can do some announcements there, and you just need to be aware of those. Everyone is sending lots of gifts. I want to send a gift also. I'm usually known for sending the K-pop gifts. Even David joined our Telegram because of the K-pop gifts. Right? Exactly.
Nice. Yeah. I think we should be doing this community call starting this one every 2 weeks.
Yeah, and, we are doing it every 2 weeks. Next week not. In 2 weeks, one day before, we need to share the agenda. Keep it on our internal notes to do that.
Sounds good.
But yeah, I think that's a wrap, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope that you had a good time. It was good for us to see lots of people here. Most of the people are familiar faces, so it's super good. If you think that you have anyone that might be interested in this type of content, you can also invite them to join us. We are more than happy to have everyone here. The thing is, we have a limit for 50 people here. So if it's more than 50 people, we need to find a new venue to do this. Okay?
Sounds great.
But yeah, then that's a wrap, everyone. Thank you so much. How do we finish the stage?
Kano, do you want to say something before we wrap up?
Is his microphone working?
I think Kano is focused on sending GIFs. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It's not working. I like nonsense.
Nice. Yes.
I like nonsense idea. After 50, we do it in the CRO world. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I like that one.
Nice.
WebRTC for voice. I like it. We can do that.
Oh, yes.
Okay, everyone, bye. Thank you for joining.
Cheers, everyone. See you in our next community call.